We've been down this road so many times before. Will I ever learn the way? Come back to you. Starting to see it's taking me, and now it is a part of me. I'm falling back to where I used to be. This touch of you is overdue. Now I can see, I know it's true. I'm falling back, yeah, I'm falling back to you. I can see you from a million miles away. Things weren't always the way they are today. If only I could learn to change the past. If only things could last another day. Starting to see it's taking me, and now it is a part of me. I'm falling back to where I used to be. The touch of you is overdue. Now I can see, I know it's true. I'm falling back, yeah, I'm falling back to you. I'm falling back to you.
can found in Minecraft. That's cool. Oh, I
Stardew
want to see
Valley
that
didn't
this
prepare
is...
me for the real life. I'm suing the game now. It should
Well, I
have
don't
made
know,
me a
what
real
is...
farmer, and more importantly, it should have taught me how to win the heart of a woman.
Well, what is... But is Real Farm... No, Real Farm is not real. It's a sim. It's a farm sim.
Yeah, but I'm sure you have to do shit you'd have to do in an actual farm since it's a farming sim.
Yeah, it looks like Farm Simulator.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now I want to see, what is this? Stardew Valley creator shares a game-changing tip hardly anyone noticed. Well, what is it? A nifty way to quickly know if an item in your bag is one that's needed for the community center. Community center icon in your inventory will gently pulsate. Well, okay. Or you can just look. Huh. Well, that's, I guess, useful. It doesn't seem like much of a game changer, but basically the little community center button will pulsate if you hover over an item in your bag.
I'm gonna track down Concerned Ape and give him a stern talking to. Every single day I gave the woman of my dreams a shiny rock I found in a cave, and all she did was spit on me.
Yeah. I thought if you just, all you have to do is just hand people, you know.
Cups of coffee?
Yeah, and cake and stuff every day.
Because I think coffee is neutral on like all but one character, or like it's a like, right? The coffee's a like on like all but one character, so it's kind of like the safest thing you can give somebody just to make them like you.
Yeah. When did I get cat ear headphones? It's a good question.
Yeah.
Joshua, they're actually part of my head. I don't know what you're talking about. I went through puberty and that's just what happened.
No, listen, they're not real cat ear headphones, okay? They're like accessories for the headphones. It's like not having a real tie, it's like a clip-on tie.
It is. They're clip-on ears, yeah. I like my headphones. I got them for Christmas, so I didn't want to get new headphones. I just got the ears.
If I had some extra cash to burn, I actually was thinking about getting also the pink variant of this that have like the real cat ears on it, just to have them.
Yeah, I saw these on Amazon somewhere, and I was like, "Ooh, let's do it." So yeah, started. Well, do you want to talk about this right now, or do you want to introduce?
Well, what I want to do is welcome everyone to the Vomitorium Weekday show for the 23rd of August, 2021. As always, I'm your host, Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. How you doing today?
Great. I got the background requested by one of our best, our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Yes, Rebellious Pastry.
Who's not here yet?
Sent me. She's not here. I think she's doing her own show right now.
Yeah.
But this is her background, and she requested it. So sure.
Well, no, like I always forget what time of the day it is and when normal people do stuff. I was gonna say it's like, well, it's August, isn't it like time for school? And then I realized no, but we're doing this at like 8 o'clock in the fucking evening. Who's in school at that time?
Yeah, exactly. No,
I don't start doing night school. I wish night school was an option. I would have went to night school as a kid.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got. I guess that's her. Is that her tablet or is that just a mouse pad? I guess it's a tablet.
I think that's a tablet because there's a pen next to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now you can see my bed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Competitive Stardew Valley.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The headline says Stardew Valley to host $40,000 tournament is sort of an esport now.
Oh, you must be looking at the one over on what's it called? GameSpot, right? Or Games Radar?
PC Gamer.
PC Gamer. Okay, I have the GameSpot one up. They were more generous, and they were saying Stardew Valley is now an esport with a $40,000 tournament cup announced.
Yeah, this person seems a bit skeptical.
anything's an esport if you try hard enough.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, before we even get into the story, you know what this does? I've been saying for years, mostly as a joke, but also semi-serious, competitive Animal Crossing. And now this just opens the door for that. Because if you can make Stardew Valley a freaking esport, I can figure out how to make Animal Crossing competitive. Don't try me.
Well, it's easy. I've done competitive Animal Crossing, actually. I participated in people's live streams where they brought people to their island and did like contests.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
But that's what this is. Seems like it.
To a degree, yes. For the Animal Crossing one, I was thinking of time traveling and seeing who can pay off their loan the fastest.
Yeah, yeah.
Which you can functionally do in a single sitting.
Yeah. No, I did like, scavenger hunts and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but let me look at the dogs. You could talk about what this thing is.
Oh, you dealing with dogs?
Oh, I have to look up every so often, so I'm gonna have to drift away from my microphone. They're outside. The problem is one of the dogs is pretty old, so he can't go more than like an hour or two without going out to the bathroom.
Yeah, so I guess there's a $40,000 prize pool. They've already picked teams, so it's teams of 4. And I guess they must have just found people who are very good at Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're each going to have their own, there's going to be a main stream where you see it, but each of the viewpoints, they're going to have links to the individual streamers.
Yeah. So, so it's going to be in groups of 4. But I just don't understand. It's only going on for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I want to watch this because I'm going to be fascinated to see how they do it. That's on September 4th, and some of the challenges would be like reaching the 100th floor of Skull Cavern. I don't know if I've ever reached the 100th floor of Skull Cavern.
A lot of the community challenges and shit like that, or even some of the stuff that they're adding in, are actually really easy to do for people that are experienced if you're doing it with multiplayer. And I've complained about this before, like, again, why the post standard 2-year season is the fun part for multiplayer, because a lot of shit just becomes way too easy once you have 4 people running around doing it all at the same time.
Yeah. But I mean, you start with a couple of turnip seeds and that's it. And I guess people are very fast at farming.
Yeah.
I've never watched a Stardew Valley speedrunner.
Well, here's another reason why it becomes really easy to start with multiple people. When you have a farm, everybody's pockets start with the same stuff. So you actually have 4 copies of all of the starting material.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go check on these dogs. You talk about Stardew Valley.
Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be on, it's going to be hosted on the Unsurpassable Z YouTube channel, I guess. And there's going to be challenges as simple as getting a horse and naming it Sprout to, I don't know why they have to name it Sprout, but to completing the community center to getting to the 100th floor of Skull Cavern. And I guess they're giving out different points depending on the difficulty of each challenge. Yeah. But you were talking about competitive Stardew Valley.
Yeah. No, I like this idea, though. Just because it's kind of like speedrunning, but it's speedrunning with milestones in a way, right? Like you're not trying to complete a game by any means. You're trying to hit certain milestones that are like the challenges. And one of the things that I've always hated about like non-standard esports games that aren't inherently made to be competitive is that most of the competitions suck outside of combining randomizers and speedruns. And a lot of them aren't even real competitions. Like It's cool. I like seeing speedruns for charity. It is one of the coolest things you can do. But I would like to see people trying their extra hardest because they're the ones winning the money. People always try harder when the prize is on their line and not going to some, like, sick kids foundation or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is a cool thing to do. I like seeing shit like this.
Oh yeah, it looks fun. Like I said, I want to watch it just to see how they do it.
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by. I mean, there must be. Yeah, there must. They mentioned things like min-maxing, and obviously, if they're doing multiplayer, it is going to make it a little easier. But I've never been concerned with like doing Stardew Valley quickly. I've only ever just taken my time.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been concerned with it either. But I also haven't played too much Stardew Valley. Like, I've played all the way through and past the 2-season marker. That is essentially the main game.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
I've played that like twice. I haven't even played the game much multiplayer. I think I've only been in it once for like a single session. So my Stardew Valley experience is pretty limited, but each time it was just kind of like a casual thing. I don't find much desire to play most games in general at that level of just like trying to hurry through stuff. I used to be like that with Mario Brothers 3, but even then that's years ago when I was a kid. I haven't done that like at all in my adult life.
Yeah. I even find Stardew, it's a bit more stressful than like Animal Crossing because you do run out of time and stuff like that.
Yeah. I still kind of use it as like an unwinding game.
Yeah. It's generally pretty simple. It's pretty easy. And it's fun and it's colorful. Colorful games are very... Wait. Here we go. I was going to say, colorful games are very stress relieving.
Oh, that depends on the game.
Well, in general.
Yeah.
So here's the list. I was kind of watching the video on the Unsurpassable Z about this. Here's the list of challenges. So, maybe nobody will get to the 100th level of Skull Cavern, but there's like, it looks like almost 50 different challenges that you can win points for. Upgrading your tools to copper, iron, gold, iridium. Finishing the fish, finishing each part of the community center, cooking pale broth, baking cookies, upgrading to a plasma TV, that sort of stuff. So, catch 24 different fish. So yeah, you can get tons of points for doing all kinds of things. So.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
It will be interesting. There's so many things that earn points, though. They're going to have like a list.
Oh, obviously. They have to have a lot of things to earn points, though. If you have 4 people per team running around, like it's a full multiplayer setup. That's each team.
Mm-hmm.
So the points are basically being collected by what gets done in this instance of the game.
Yeah. Sell a golden pumpkin. Wow. Complete a help wanted quest. Yeah, that's easy. I'm trying to find where the high value... Okay, 20 points. Reach level 10 in a skill. 20 points for complete a monster eradication goal. 25 points to get to floor 100 in Skull Cavern. 25 for give a loved gift at the Feast of the Winter Star. That seems easy.
Yeah. Well, also, the prize seems a little bit bigger than it actually is. The $40,000 is the prize pool, right? So the winning team actually only gets $28,000 to split between the 4 members, because that is the highest portion of that $40,000, and then a smaller portion will go to the places behind it.
I see.
Yeah.
So, okay. So each team, the top team gets $7,000 each.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
Still
bad
not
for
bad,
3 hours, right?
Yeah, for 3 hours of Stardew Valley of all games, that's a pretty good prize per person.
Yeah, yeah. Only if you win, though. But, so you say this is for charity?
No. It's not for charity.
It's not.
I said most competitions like this are for charity, which is why it's kind of cool to see one that's actually for the people playing. Because you tend to, like, be more competitive when the actual reward is going to you and not to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. This dude's live right now.
Oh, cool.
Interesting. I'll have to give him a follow. Follow Unsurpassable Z to unlock free emotes to use in chat. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to mention. We're talking about you on our podcast.
Don't steal his attention.
Okay, fine, I won't.
Yeah, but it seems like
Anyway.
Concerned Ape is involved on this from like even the headline and the opening of most of these articles. So it's really cool. Obviously, he likes the community that plays his game, so obviously he's going to want to be at least tangentially involved in anything that goes on.
Oh, Concerned Ape will?
Yeah. In fact, he's the one that officially announced this for who's the one hosting it? Zach Hartman, the Unsurpassable Z.
Yeah.
Because the announcement has more weight if Ape is the one that says it.
Right. Yeah, but there's his channel on Twitch. Can go there after the show.
What other
That
games
sounds cool.
would you like to see interesting competitions like this? Standard.
Well, you mentioned Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, but I don't know if you've ever played it. Fantasy Life.
Oh yeah.
This is another cool game. That I could imagine similar type goals that you could set for a 3 or 4 hour tournament. I mean, there's a million at Harvest Moon and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think what makes this one really cool is that you can do it with a team.
Yeah, that's true, because you can't play as a team in Fantasy Life. What team games? What do you think? Now I'm opening up my Steam library to see what...
Yeah, because you want to think of a game that maybe has a goal, but the goal isn't the point to the competition, right? Like, I could see, say, Borderlands 2 would be really fun, because even though it has an end goal, you can make a lot of things that have nothing to do with it, because the game has, like, a bunch of these badass challenges that are, like, side things to complete that help, like, increase your character's stats, and you could just, like, give points to the badass challenges or whatever. Or, actually, they kind of have points themselves, so you could actually go with their badass rank, and just whatever team has the highest badass rank by the end of the timer could be the winner. Like, there'd be all kinds of things like that. That would be cool because the game basically tracks the score for you, so you don't have to come up with, like, a point system.
I mean, Don't Starve Together is an obvious one.
Yeah, you could definitely have some interesting things for Don't Starve Together.
Or Terraria, I suppose. I never really got into that.
Terraria, I think, is more fun to watch for some people than it is to actually play.
Yeah, I can never really figure that game out.
It's definitely fun if you have a group of people, though. Because a lot of it is trying to figure out what to fucking do, right? So people who've played it a lot, they're like, okay, I'm going in with a game plan. People who've never played it before are like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, it's kind of like Minecraft, right? Because it's like every time I try to play Minecraft, I'm like, okay, build a house.
It also it has some options that are like Minecraft, but it's actually a very different game in the same time, because there are a lot of goals in Terraria. Minecraft really only has like the Ender Dragon, right? That's like the ultimate goal. I think they've added a couple more bosses or something through like the Minecraft story mode and shit like that. But aside from that, like base Minecraft, it's just the Ender Dragon. Terraria, on the other hand, is an RPG that's disguised as an open world sandbox game. So, but when you first load up in the game, you have no idea about any of this shit. Right? It starts out survival like, okay, well, I definitely need to build a house because everything at night wants to fucking kill me. But
yeah,
then,
I always die the first night.
You don't even know that you should be digging down at any point, right? You don't know that most of the game is below you. So you're pretty much just going left and right at first until you stumble upon either the jungle biome where you've got trees that are already starting to go down, a cave that starts to go down, or if you come to the dungeon. And if you go to the dungeon at night and talk to the old man there, then one of the bosses attacks you because he becomes Skeletron. And then you really figure out, oh, this isn't Minecraft. This is an RPG.
Interesting. Have you ever played Crashlands?
No, I have not.
That would make an interesting competition. I think they fairly recently, like in the last couple of years, it's been around for many, many years. But in the last couple of years, they added multiplayer. And it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like top-down Terraria. It's you build a base and you go out and there's there's a storyline and some quests that you have to do, and you're on this planet kind of stranded, and you just kind of have to go through the storyline and complete quests and upgrade your weapons and your armor and your base, and it's a fun game.
Sounds pretty fun, yeah.
I've never beaten it. There is an ending, but I've never gotten to the end.
How many games have you gotten to the end of?
I don't know. Not very many.
Yeah. Well,
but
you know what,
Crashlands
actually,
is fun.
funny thing. Speaking of competitive, there's another story that I had pulled up, right? And it's a speed run. Any percent. It's probably the weirdest speed run I've ever seen because you wouldn't inherently think of this being a speed run. Somebody has beaten Ocarina of Time in sub 5 minutes. Technically, sort of, kind of.
Oh, is this the thing where they have to switch out the game?
No. This isn't.
Oh.
This isn't using like the cache of the game by doing a switch out, right? Which most people, I think, they use. Well, usually they use Ocarina of Time, which is why you wouldn't be able to do it. Right?
Oh, okay.
They'll beat Paper Mario using Ocarina of Time or something like that. No.
Yeah,
this is on the Wii. This is on the Wii. In Super Smash Brothers Brawl, there was a thing, it was called like Legends or whatever, and you could unlock these 5-minute demos of different games from the characters in it. And one of the games for Zelda was a 5-minute demo for Ocarina of Time. You load it up. The timer actually doesn't start until you select the save file, and it has 2 preloaded save files in it. One that starts you near the beginning of the game as young Link, but you're already set up to just go into the Great Deku Tree. You don't have to go find the sword and the shield and all that shit. The other one starts you off as an adult in the Temple of Time after you've just pulled the sword out. And you can just run around and do things in the overworld.
Yeah.
And you only have 5 minutes, so there's not a lot you can do in the game in 5 minutes. Unless you're a speedrunner who has actually looked through the cache data of this particular version of the game. So, what the guy did was he looked through, like, all mining the program to see, like, what is in this game? What can we do? What weird interactions are unique just to the Brawl version of this game? And managed to start as an adult, wonk his way into the frickin' Lost Woods, and then started doing a bunch of different, like, bomb glitches, invisible item hold glitches and stuff, facing certain ways, RNG resetting and stuff. And then, right at about 4 minutes and 51 seconds in, just shy of when the cut screen, because there's a you've ran out of time screen that pops up 5 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
The field box for the Lost Woods disappears, and then the credit starts rolling. Because he managed to manipulate the game data to force jump straight to the credits. Due to, like, yeah, just different scene manipulation and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, it was.
So,
I watched the whole thing. It was one of the funkiest things I ever saw. But I understood what he was doing, because even though all these interactions, like doing the hook shot at certain angles in the freaking Goron City and stuff, they're unique to this version of the game. But you kind of know what to look for because they're similar to shit that people do in the normal version of the game.
Mm-hmm. Now this is Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yes, so it is
This is like
specifically
a demo of it.
the 5-minute demo in like the Legends Collection area that you unlock in Super Smash Brothers Brawl. There's a bunch of them. Like you could play the original Zelda for 5 minutes. You could play Mario Brothers. You could play Ice Climbers and stuff like that. And you just play them for like 5 minutes at a time. They were trying to give you little samples. Maybe you want to go out and buy copies of these games because Smash was like your first introduction to some of these characters or whatever. But the guy managed to actually hit the end credits. So apparently the reason they even knew you could do that is by going through the game data. They realized the entire game was programmed in there. It wasn't just like cut off sections of it.
Yeah.
So that if you did manage to get anywhere, you could go anywhere in Hyrule Field or whatever. So it's like if the whole game's coded in there, that means I can get to the end credits. Possibly. Let's see.
That's interesting. Like, why would they include the whole game? That's interesting. Like, that seems like a lot, but I guess, I don't know. I guess there wasn't a whole lot of data in there.
Yeah, it's not a particularly big game. I think it's like what it's in the megabytes. I'm trying to think. Let's look at the file size for Ocarina of Time.
Oh, it's the Japanese version.
Well, you always do the Japanese version in that game particularly because less characters, so the freaking text loads up faster. 32 megabytes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huge.
For the time, yes. But for Smash Brothers Brawl, which was a game that was already starting to border on close to a gig back then, right? It's like it was using everything you could fit onto one of those Wii discs. That's like nothing.
Mm-hmm. So you couldn't, was it set so that you couldn't do a save game? It just had like the two preloaded
Yeah, it had two preloaded saves. It didn't have the save option or anything.
That's interesting.
And it cleared the cache for it after the 5-minute thing. So if you were to start back up again, it'd be like you never played it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like on speedrun.com. Like,
I don't know.
Did he submit it? That would be a very specific version.
Yeah, very, very specific challenge. It'd have to have its complete own run category. And even he calls it is a SSBB for Super Smash Brothers Brawl. OOT demo any % speed run in 438 is what he times it at.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the article. That is crazy. Well, I almost wanted to talk about comics again today, but I think we already talked about that before.
Probably.
Substack stuff.
Yeah.
Ongoing.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's far more interesting than comics.
What's that?
Anime. Or
Is
more
it?
particularly, yeah. Come on, you know more people actually watch the anime than they read the manga. Get real.
Of course.
Especially when it's an anime that was never a manga. I mean, how can you read the manga then? Right? I mean, think. But
Like
a
what?
couple years ago or so, Netflix revealed that they were going to be making a live-action Cowboy Bebop. And a great disturbance in the Force was felt as thousands upon thousands of fans were complaining about the shit that they saw. Especially when they originally showed that Ein wasn't going to be a corgi, which they have retracted since then.
Oh.
Yeah. Today...
Okay, now I get it, because I saw stuff about a corgi, and I was like, what the hell? I don't understand.
Yeah. Today we got a release date and a full look at images from the series. And honestly, they look pretty good. Any initial complaints that I had of it, I'm kind of retracting. The characters mostly look like the characters. Frickin' I've got a decently attractive woman playing Faye Valentine, which is important because part of her character was that she was attracted. And I see a little corgi on a leash there, so that's clearly Ein. I couldn't imagine it being anyone else. The only character I don't see an image of at all in this gallery, I think, is Ed. So I don't know who's playing Ed. Hopefully it is a nice, semi-androgynous, cute little girl. Because the thing about Ed was
Cho is
they kind of John Cho is playing Spike. He looks fine as Spike. Like, he kind of looks like Spike. I'm glad they picked like a Japanese actor to play Spike. Like, you know, I want everything to be as close as possible. But the thing about Ed too is like even if you listen to the Japanese voice, which everybody knows that the English dub of Cowboy Bebop is the superior dub. Even the Japanese agree on it. It's one of those shows where it's like the dub's better. But even back in the Japanese, Ed was played by a voice actor who was doing kind of like one of those, because you get like women to play boys' voices as well, to where at first you couldn't really tell if Ed was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
Which is part of the joke, because when you do finally meet Ed's dad, he was the type of person that doesn't actually remember or recognize all of his kids because he has too many, and gave his daughter a boy's name.
Oh.
Yeah. There's actually like in-story reasons for all of that. So, you know who actually would have been fine if she was still younger, if this was made back during the earlier Stranger Things day, that Millie Bobby Brown or whatever her name is would have been fine for it. But you need somebody like that to play Ed, and I don't know who's actually on the cast. But everybody else looks fine. Spike looks good. Jet looks good. Faye looks good. I'm set for this.
Good.
Yeah. I was very worried at first that this was going to be an absolute piece of crap, but it looks like they took all the criticisms before they started actual production, and it looks like Cowboy Bebop, so I'll give it a chance. Yeah. It may still suck, but at least it's got nice bait. There's nice bait tied to the line, and that's what really matters to get somebody to try a show.
Mm-hmm. That's coming in November.
Yep, on the 19th.
Okay.
Now, here's the real make or break. Will it have a remastered version of the original show soundtrack? That's the one of the best parts about Cowboy Bebop, and everybody knows, is the fucking soundtrack to the show.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like, yeah, Star Wars is like a space opera, right? The space operas were pretty common.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Bebop is like space freeform jazz.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very apt way. It's a space western as well, but if the Wild West was completely constructed by Louis Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a really fun show. And if they don't have music that at least resembles the original, I think there's going to be a lot of complaints about the show.
Well, I hope so.
You've never seen Cowboy Bebop, have you?
I've never have. I have no idea.
It's not long. and it's worth watching. Especially
Where can
because
I-
it has an amazing English dub.
Where can it be viewed? Oh, I
don't know.
I can watch it on Tubi.
On Tubi,
Apparently
with
Tubi.
commercials, right?
I guess so.
I think that's how
fine.
Tubi works. You can watch it for free just with ads and stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay. I suppose I should watch that. Know
It's
what people are
classic.
talking about.
Yeah. I used to watch it. When did it? I think I watched it on Sci-Fi Channel. I want to say is probably when I originally watched it. 'Cause I don't believe it was a Toonami show. I think it was on Anna Mondays on Sci-Fi. Because there's like two different ways
Yeah.
Until I got old enough to start procuring things in a less legitimate manner. There's really only two ways any kid was watching anime back in like the late 90s through the aughts, and that was either Toonami on Cartoon Network or Anna Mondays on Sci-Fi. And I want to say Anna Mondays was when Cowboy Bebop aired.
Okay. Was this the late 90s? Yeah, it came out in 98.
Yeah, and it would have aired here in like the early aughts, maybe like 2002, 2003.
Well, it's a shame I never got into it.
Yeah. It's a really fun
I
show.
don't think I knew about it.
And it still has like, if you look at the images of the anime, it still has that like really, really crisp, mostly hand-drawn 90s vibe. Because, it's like the late 90s, they were getting more and more computer involvement. There was a lot of computer involvement in that show. But a lot of the show is because there was traditional work put into it. Even the digital works had that crisp hand-drawn vibe that you don't get anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
I kind of miss it. There's a certain aesthetic to 90s anime that, like, I like 80s anime as well. I think it looks really good. There's a very similar but different aesthetic to it. But 80s and 90s, there's something about it that you just don't get back, right? Like, it was still trying to find its pacing in 70s when it came to the look. Like, it wasn't quite right yet. Then you get into the 80s and everything looks great. 90s, everything looks better. And then once they're like, oh, we could do everything 100% digital now, there's a certain aesthetic that you just started missing from the aughts and on that wasn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it
So there's four main
is probably
characters
because
plus a
of
corgi?
Vector, and also everything's HD and crisp now, as opposed to like the aesthetic I'm getting through my webcam right now is probably part of why everything looked a certain way back then.
Yeah.
You're talking about the characters?
Yeah, what is it about?
Okay. Cowboy Bebop is basically about, well, they call him the Space Cowboy. It's about space outlaws, basically, right? Little troop of people flying around the stars, doing things. What is that sound? Somebody barking here. Let me check real quick.
All right. I'm just looking at various images of the cartoon show, the anime, excuse me. And it's got an interesting aesthetic. And yes, there is a corgi in there with a little girl. It's interesting that the movie or the live action version didn't show the little girl.
Yeah, Ed. Sorry, the dog, instead of coming up and asking me to go out, just started barking like a madman, like, "Hey, let me out!" I'm like, "You did that on freaking Sunday too." It's like, you never do this. You just come up to me. Why are you throwing a bitch fit? Yeah. So it's kind of like a little troop going through the stars that have kind of been pulled together. Aside from Jet and Spike, who actually are kind of friends, they were pulled together through circumstances, right? They kind of became like Firefly, right? You know how like the group kind of ended up together. And the 4 main characters, I guess you can include Ein, because Ein is like a super genius of a dog. The 4 main characters are Spike, Jet, Faye, and Ed. And yeah, we haven't seen a picture of Ed yet.
Who is this other girl on the cover of Cowboy Bebop the movie?
I
In
don't
black.
remember the cover of Cowboy Bebop the movie. Let me look.
I don't know. You want me to link you to
No,
it?
I'm about to look. I'm about to look.
And it's funny because I am willing to bet that in the live action version, oh no, she is wearing similar.
Oh
Well,
no, that's what I
in
said.
the-
It's not quite the same as what Faye normally wears, but
Yeah,
it's
but
close
she
enough
usually just
aesthetically.
she wears like almost just a bikini top.
Yeah, but she
Like
also
with-
sometimes has a red jacket over it that she'll
Yeah.
either wear as a jacket, or sometimes she'll actually wear it almost like a tied slip or whatever. Like she
Yeah.
wears it in different
But
ways.
it's just funny that in the cartoon it looks like there's a lot of midriff, and then in the live action one, why are they so puritanical? It's
I don't know.
amazing, amazing.
I will be a little fair. If
Sure.
it is a live action movie, the outfit that she's wearing in the shots does look like it is more functional for stunts and
Yeah.
shots, right? So I'm gonna let it slide. It looks close enough to Faye's that I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, this
Like
is funny.
they did a pretty good job. Honestly, Faye's outfit, if it wasn't animated, looks like it would be falling apart at all times with half of the shit that she does.
Yeah. I mean, the shorts are like ridiculous, a little bit
Yeah.
ridiculously short, and she's wearing like a thong or something that you can see because the shorts are so damn short.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they just fly around, getting into hijinks. Hijinks ensue.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like an overlying plot, but you don't even really find out what that is until near the end of the show. Oh my god, I think
Yeah.
the dogs are barking again.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably all we have to say about that. Metal seems excited and definitely a bit more positive with the latest reveals. I want to know what he thinks, though. I want to know what Metal thinks of the Spider-Man No Way Home leak.
I don't think of it. I saw that there was a thing. I did not pay attention to it. I don't know anything about it. I don't give a shit about the MCU or Marvel anymore, so.
Oh. Man, it looks good, though. The trailer looks good, I have to say. I've liked the Spider-Man movies so far. I don't think I'm going to be
I
interested
haven't liked
in.
a single one of them.
Oh, okay.
I
I
thought.
don't think I'm going to be interested in anything else, but I'm interested in this movie.
I think I've even said this before too. I thought the first one was a fine enough movie if you cut out everything that wasn't the Vulture versus Spider-Man, like everything where it wasn't those two interacting together. Like, you get like 30 minutes of a short film out of that too, but a lot of the movie was just fluff and crap outside of that, like poorly written.
Yeah.
I hate freaking. I don't even have much against the actress. I mean, that's whatever, actors and actresses are a thing. But I hate the character that was written for Zendaya's MJ.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's the.
Yeah, she's a
It's
mess.
just her. It's literally just her.
Uh-huh.
It is Zendaya. Like, I
Yeah.
would have a lot against her if I knew her as a person, but it's the same character she plays in everything. And apparently, from what I've seen, the interviews of other people, that's just the way she acts. She's a
Yeah.
little Disney princess that was spoiled by Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
But I like the other Spider-Man-y things. Maybe they'll kill her off and bring back Gwen Stacy.
He'll do an
Yeah.
opposite, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they
Well,
do probably
Green
want to
Goblin
use
is-
Spider-Gwen at some point in time since they're catching up to modern
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah, well, I think there was some rumor that Spider-Gwen might be in this. There's
I know they're doing
they
multiverse
definitely
stuff,
showed.
so.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange is in it, and definitely the other two Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Who I've liked them all. I like Tobey Maguire. I like James Garfield as Spider-Man.
That was Andrew
So
Garfield.
and then Andrew Garfield, whatever. And then Alfred
No,
Molina.
we're just gonna put frickin' President Garfield in the role of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right. Dig him up. Right, and Alfred Molina is reprising his role as
That was
Doctor.
the only thing that made me interested. When I saw that, and this was released a while back because he was the one that came out and said it, I was like, I'll probably ignore all trailers and shit like that, and I'll probably still watch this when it hits streaming. I'm not going to watch it in theaters. But to see Maguire Molina on the screen again, reprising the role of those characters specifically, I'm like, I might watch it once it hits streaming. That's about it, though.
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say about that? Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they bring in, if they bring in Gwen Stacy, you know, is the Andrew Garfield character going to be like, oh my God, she's alive? Is it who's going to play?
Yeah, is it going to be Emma Stone?
Yeah, or is it going to be the one who played her in the Tobey Maguire one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
who that
people
was.
barely even remember that Stacy was in the original Spider-Man trilogy because she barely was. It was like just a little bit.
Yeah.
While she actually did have a
In the worst
major
one.
role in the Amazing Spider-Man series, so
Yeah,
they probably, if they were bringing any actress back for it, it would be Stone. My bet is, if they're gonna do Spider-Gwen, it would probably be a completely new actress altogether. That was because it wouldn't be from either of their timelines either, because it's the timeline where she got bit instead of Peter, and he was the one that died.
Oh,
They're
right.
Actually doing Spider-Gwen, so it could literally, if every Peter is a different actor and not just like a guy who looks the same, they would just pick a different actress to play Gwen.
Yeah, they could. They could. I liked her in Into the Spider-Verse. And I thought it's funny that they gave her the shaved head haircut, but they gave a reason, because he gets his hand stuck on her hair and it rips off. So it's like, it wasn't just, it wasn't really a choice of hers that just happened. I thought that was kind of funny.
See, that the haircuts never bother me. I don't have a problem with the shaved head haircut, especially if it's like teenagers, right? Like adults that do it, it's a little cringe, but like there's all kinds of adults with cringe haircuts in real life that doesn't bother me at all. When teenagers do it, like that's a teenage thing to do.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. It was almost like making fun of it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think this is probably the only upcoming. Well, no, I'll probably be excited about the Doctor Strange movie too. Who knows?
I'm not.
I can't help it. But I'm not interested in anything else.
I'm just not excited in the MCU whatsoever. I try to ignore it for the most part.
Yeah.
Makes
Well, I haven't, and I don't plan to see Black Widow. I don't think I'm going to see Shang-Chi or whatever. I've never even heard of that character.
I like the character of Shang-Chi. If this was like a decade or more ago, and the way things were being made, and I'm like, oh, this is just an obscure Marvel character that I know and most people don't, then I would have watched it. But with the way things are going now, it's like, there's no way this can be a good movie. At all. There's just no way this can be a good movie.
I did enjoy The Suicide Squad. So, that was just me.
I'm just not interested in, I think, in general, like, superhero movies. Like, maybe if some, obscure, non-Marvel, non-DC type comic came out with a movie, I might watch it. But even then, like, I'm kind of hesitant because I'm looking at all these shows that are made by other comics that are, like Image and Dark Horse and stuff. And they all suck.
What about a Cyberfrog?
Cyberfrog movie? Maybe. Here's my problem with that. One, at least I know from a film perspective, it'd probably be a good film because EVS wouldn't release the rights unless he knew it was going to somebody that was going to try to do it justice. My problem is it better be one of those cases where the movie is better than the source material, because at least from Cyberfrog #1, there really wasn't a story there.
Oh, yeah.
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 I haven't been following. I don't know if there is a story now, if it's picked up, if one just needed a bunch of like exposition to catch people up, since there was an original Cyberfrog run back in the 90s. But like, just skip to #2 if that's the case. Just ignore 1.
Yeah. I thought there was something. Oh, you know what I saw? Kind of a non sequitur. You know what I rewatched the other day was Stranger Than Fiction. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
With Will Ferrell. Yeah, I thought that was a really cute movie. It's on Netflix right now, and I completely forgot that it existed. 'Cause I know I'd seen it before.
That's like 90% of Will Ferrell's movies. Is like, I've seen it.
I know.
I forgot it existed until now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I remember this movie. And I watched it again. It was really cute. But the only downside to it was it had that woman from that Batman movie.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what's her
name? The Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is. She has a weird looking face. Jake Gyllenhaal's sister.
Yeah, I can't remember her fucking name. But like Maggie. Okay, I think this is just this is a rule for Will Ferrell movies. And I even pull on my dad, because my dad has like this very weird fucking memory for film specifically. He's like a film head. You can ask him something about a movie he's seen, and he could tell you basically everything about the movie off the top of his head. Except, like I said, no, but nobody remembers most of Will Ferrell's movies, even if they seems like bullshit. And I was like, okay, I want you to name me 10 Will Ferrell movies right now. He got through like 3.
Yeah. And I'm sure there have been 10, right?
Oh, way more. Yeah, he's been in a lot of
movies. I can't even believe.
Yeah. A lot of people forget that Bewitched was a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the main character in that. He was able to, like, Anchorman was one that he named. Elf was one that he named. And Old School was one that he named.
What about Talladega Nights?
He forgot about that one. Yeah.
Ricky Bobby.
He forgot about Step Brothers, which is also another really good one.
Anchorman 2.
I think when I asked him Anchorman 2, because it was a while back, Anchorman 2 wasn't a thing yet.
Oh.
That's still a fairly recent movie. It's only a few years old.
Yeah.
Well, like, I've been having this conversation. Like, most of Will Ferrell's movies are funny but forgettable.
Yeah, definitely.
I really like Old School, though. I'll be controversial on this here, because most people will say Elf, or they'll they'll say Anchorman or Talladega Nights. Like, those are the choices. I'll say Old School is probably the best Will Ferrell movie.
Okay. I don't know that I've actually seen it all the way through. I think I've only seen parts.
And then, he's also been in a lot of other people's movies, too. Like, he was in Starsky and Hutch for a small role. He's been in too many things. He was in The Producers.
Really?
He was, yeah. Because he was the guy who was originally going to be playing the Nazi leader, because he was an actual Nazi, and he was the one that brought them, right? And then he like sprained or broke his leg on set, like a literal break a leg, and that's when the gay guy came in, who ended up playing Hitler. And started, it's springtime for Hitler in Germany.
And everyone laughed when they
it turned it from like this seriously horrible show which they needed it to be seriously horrible for the plot to work, into this comedy that everybody was liking. Is like, oh shit, this show's not gonna bomb. We're actually gonna have to pay people back now.
Yeah. It's supposed to be funny, or it wasn't supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
He was in Zoolander.
Yeah, he was in Zoolander.
Blades of Glory.
Dude, Blades of Glory is such a good movie, too. I forgot about that one. See, like, even somebody, like, I'm thinking about his movies, and I'm the one that's saying, like, nobody can remember.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that Blades of Glory was a fucking movie. But it's so good.
Yeah.
Fucking Triple
Eurovision.
Lotus. Megamind, I know that's
Eurovision?
one.
Yeah.
He's the voice of Megamind.
Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you know? He is in the producers. There it is.
Yeah, he was the one that brought them this story. He wanted to play Hitler. So he was a modern-day Nazi.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
Yeah, dude, he's in fucking everything. But nobody
Yeah, I'm
remembers
looking.
him.
There's like 20 movies at least in front of me here. Is this a... What year did this come out? Holmes and Watson? He played Sherlock Holmes?
Yes, that was like, I want to say it was
I didn't even know
third.
that
It was
movie
in like the
existed.
series of him and John C.
With
Riley.
John C. Riley?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, where there was Talladega Nights and Step Brothers were the previous two that they did together, and then they did Holmes and Watson. It bombed. Most people didn't like it. I haven't seen it, actually. The trailer looked good, and I'm fairly certain I'd probably enjoy it, but most people said it sucked.
Yeah, it somehow made $42 million at the box office, but it has a 10% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, which just makes me
And
want to watch it even
24% on
more.
Metacritic.
And
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, haven't brought myself to watch it yet.
Oh, I never even heard of it, but it's like the first one that comes up when I search for
Oh,
Will
dude.
Ferrell movies.
After we're done here, since we only got a couple minutes left, you need to watch the trailer for Holmes and Watson. The trailer was actually funny. If the movie sucks, I think it's because everybody was baited in from how well the trailer was made. Because it was probably just all the funniest parts right there in the trailer.
Yeah, I can't believe. I mean, it unfortunately had a $42 million budget,
Yeah.
but it still made $42 million.
Yeah, it made its budget back. That's all that matters.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I don't know how much marketing they put in, but it's funny.
But yeah, he's been in a lot of fucking shit. Daddy's Home. I forgot about Daddy's Home. That's a funny ass movie with him and Mark Wahlberg. And he's like the
I saw
stepdad,
that.
and Mark
Oh, yeah,
Wahlberg's the actual dad coming back, and yeah,
And there's a sequel?
Yeah.
Daddy's Home 2?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
I'm telling you, like you can have seen a lot of these. I've seen most of his movies here. Like I've seen Daddy's Home. You've seen most of the. Everybody just fucking forgets about almost all of his shit.
Land of the Lost? Oh my god.
I forgot
other
about
guy.
that one too. That was funny because I'll be honest, the Land of the Lost TV show fucking sucks. There's some good things about it. Like I'll go back. It was interesting the way they used claymation at the time and everything, but it fucking
That's
sucks.
the one with Slee Stacks?
Yes, that's where the Slee Stacks are from. Yeah,
Okay.
the show sucks. I get why people liked it back then, but it is aged poorly. The movie took the show and made it as funny as it's aged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've seen it because I remember, doesn't he jump inside of a T-Rex? Like he gets swallowed?
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh my god. And then the other guys.
I genuinely like it. And his fucking his book is Matt Lauer Can Suck It.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes, I do. I think I did.
And
like
he
that
made
movie.
Matt Lauer say it on his show.
Yeah.
What's the
I
name?
remember
Of the book?
that
What's
part.
the name of the book, Matt? Matt Lauer Can Suck It. Yes, Matt Lauer Can Suck It.
Yes, I definitely saw that.
Yeah.
I remember that part. Oh my god. Too much.
Yeah. He's in so many good movies, but I just can't remember. Almost any other actor, like I could just start naming off their filmography if I like them as an actor. Something about Will Ferrell's like there's this cognitive block right there. I'm gonna forget half of this by the time we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be in Cowboy Bebop. Too bad.
That we know of.
That we know of.
He just comes in as one of the villains at like the end of the series. Fucking gangster. Yeah. But that is the show.
All right.
Thank you all for watching, either in the present or listening later in the future. If you enjoy the show, please share it with somebody else who might like it. And if you really enjoy the show, consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/vomitoriumalive. So I don't have to pay for the hosting fees out of my other ventures. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.